What is up, guys? Jonny B here again today, and we're gonna be bringing you the next video on the IS300 project that we have going on. The goal is to hit 600 horsepower stock block, and right now, up to now, we have done the suspension. The suspension's all been done. That's all been worked, and we're excited that everything's been cleaned up as well. The next phase is to do the mock-up, so we have to sit the engine in there with the transmission, so we can start getting a lot of the things that we have to do set up and mocked up and fabricated and a bunch of other stuff that we want to do. So we're not going to be painting the engine bay just yet. That is the goal, to paint the engine bay. But for mock-up purposes, we're just going to sit it in there, try to figure out what we need, what fits and what not, and what holes we need to shave and what holes we need to leave, because we might need stuff like that. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is going to be the new heart of the IS300. So let me show you guys a little bit of a preview of something that happened in the past. So we are at Top Tier, Japan, and looking around at some engines, seeing what we can pick up, and we have an engine sitting right there on the forklift, getting ready to put on the Tacoma right there. So we're excited to get this engine for a new project. So this will be in a future video, so I'll probably put it in a video later on when we have some pieces that we need for the front of the car. Some JDM imported front end, so we can have the little turn signals, and pretty much it. So here it is in our possession here at the shop, right in front of the project. We need to take it apart. Obviously we're going to be removing these turbos, so we can make sure we can reseal everything. We're going to be removing the intake manifold, removing all these pulleys, because we're going to be doing a full maintenance on it. That means we're going to be replacing the cam seals, we're going to be doing timing belt, we're going to be doing a new pulley, we're going to be doing a rear main seal, front main seal, all kinds of stuff. So what we need to do is go ahead and just go through it all, take it all apart, clean it up, reseal it, and then we can go ahead and mate the new transmission to it and pretty much set it up in the car. So we have the turbos finally off. Obviously with the stock twins, we're not gonna be able to make that power, but with something else we might be able to. A lot of these bolts were actually really easy to remove. I was able to remove them with my impact gun, most of them. I think 2 of these, like this one and this one, I had to remove by hand, and then 1, 2, and 3 were difficult to remove with the impact gun. The rest of them I was able to get them off with the impact gun. Luckily, this one I was able to remove with just like a wrench from underneath. I did need to remove the motor mount. As you can see, the motor mount's completely off to get to this one and this one. But other than that, it wasn't that difficult. It was actually a lot easier, which is why we wanted to do it outside of the car and just go with a different setup, so that we wouldn't have all this complexity and all these issues. And obviously, as you guys probably saw, the turbos are leaking. So if you look down here to the stock turbo, it's full of oil in here, and it just leaked it all out. So the seal is probably done in that turbo. So it's a good thing we're upgrading and not using the stock turbos right from the get-go. Now that we got the turbos off, it's time to take off the intake. This intake is the original one. Obviously, it's a lot of outdated old technology, bunch of sensors, old injectors. We want to make this engine build as nice as possible. So we're going to be deleting this whole intake and replacing it with a whole nother one that's made out of billet aluminum and welded aluminum and whatever. It's going to be like a nice big piece like you see on some show cars. So that's what we're going to be going with. So for that, we need to go ahead and remove this and pretty much just leave the bare block, because we're going to be, you know, doing all the maintenance and stuff like that. So it's going to be easier to access everything. So let's go ahead and take this off. So we got the intake off and we went ahead and removed all of the harness. Now the next thing that we're gonna do, since we're already here, is we want to take off the valve cover so we can see how everything looks on the top end. You know, it's kind of a suspenseful moment, mainly because they just say, you know, it has around 50,000 miles or 50,000 kilometers, so we don't really actually know any of the history of the engine or even heard it running. We did get a compression test, so that was good. That way we knew that all cylinders, all 6 cylinders across the line had really good compression. So let's see what it looks like under the valve covers. We got all of the bolts removed, so now we can just go ahead and pull it all straight off. Oh, this little cable's grabbing on. Boom. Wow. That actually looks really good. I don't see any scoring on any of the cam lobes. There's no gunk building up from, you know, oil changes that they never did or anything like that. So it looks like the previous owner to this car actually took pretty good care of it. Seems to be, you know, in pretty good condition the way it is, and it does look like a low mileage engine. So I'm really happy about that. That all the cam lobes and everything looks good. We're not seeing any crazy wear on any of them, pretty much.